In today's video, we'll be analyzing the dominant augment Lucky Paws and its performance against one of the top VN players, YBY1. Stats suggest that Lucky Paws is among the top augments, virtually guaranteeing a top 4 finish in every game. Plus, Kabuko has received a minor mana buff in the recent patch, making this strategy even stronger. Now, let's examine the build layout. Our final board will feature at least 6 bruisers, with Kabuko as the main tank. Carry options include Aurelia, Wei, and Rockin, depending on available items. There's plenty of flexibility with emblems and items. Let's break down everything you need to know about this comp, using one of my games in a challenger lobby as a reference. The game started off with the 3-cost champion portal. For the first augment, I picked Lucky Paws. Now, let us discuss the game plan. So, when to play this comp? If you see the Lucky Paws augment, go for it, especially if you get early copies of Kabuko, increasing the chance of getting this augment later. What is important to do while playing this comp? Stay at level 4 to 5 and max out Kabuko. Equip Kabuko with a Dragon's Claw. Prioritize Bruiser, Altruist, and Storyweaver emblems. In the early game, don't level up even if you're on a losing streak. Stack gold and roll down at 3 to 1 while maintaining 32 to 35 gold until you 3-star Kabuko. If you don't hit 3-star, slow roll by keeping 50 gold. Once you have 8 copies and start losing too much HP, roll for Kabuko 3. After that, rebuild your economy and push to levels 8 to 9 for your carry. Add bruiser units to the board along the way. For carries, we have the standard option of Aurelia with red Kale. If we have more AP items, then we can go for Zoe with purple Kale. Even Xayah with Trickshot is also a great option. Let's get back into the gameplay. Early on, I got a couple of 2-star Kabukos. In my first encounter, Janna offered a treasure armory from which I picked a steadfast heart. But usually, the first item choice for Kabuko has to be a Dragon's Claw, which I later managed to make with the cloak from the carousel. With a solid economy, at the 3 to 1 round, I rolled for Kabuko copies. For the second augment, I opted for Roll the Dice, which granted a Rascal's Glove. I picked an artifact anvil from the Lysandra encounter from which I got mittens. My Kabuko became a 3-star, along with a Galio showing up in the shop. I moved to level 6 to activate the Storyweaver synergy. As I already had an AP item like Rabadon's hat, I opted for the purple Kale. From here on, I started dominating every other board, and the best thing is Kabuko was giving some gold every round. I completed Kabuko's items by equipping him with a bramble vest and crafted a giant slayer for my carry. As we touched upon the topic, let's discuss itemization strategy. As I already mentioned, Dragon's Claw is a mandatory item. Along with it, these combinations of items are preferred. If we have more AP items, then Zoe or Wei can be the carry with these item combinations. In the case of having more AD items, then Aurelia or Xayah can be the carry with these item combinations. Excessive tank items go on Galio. Other altruists such as Rockin can be equipped with these item combinations. Silas with these items is also a good choice for the secondary carry. Now let's get back to the gameplay. For the third augment, I opted for Partial Ascension. Other augments like Band of Thieves, Silver Veil, Featherweights, Well-Fed, Bruiser Crest, Heavy Hitters, Dragon Spirit, and Bruiser Crown are all great choices. After augment selection, I moved to level 7 to activate 6 bruisers. Position Kabuko in front of the opponent's main carry as it takes more time to take him down, which grants our backline time to stack. To maintain my win streak, I quickly moved to level 8. YBY1, a top Vietnamese player, was still on a 100 HP streak with the Exalted comp, as it is buffed in this patch. I won against him in a close encounter. I moved to level 9 and rolled in search of high-cost units. See, Kabuko was winning me some close encounters. Still, I lost my 10-win streak in another close encounter. I was slowly moving my board towards high-cost units such as Aurelia and Wei. As most of my opponents had AD carries, I opted for a Bramble Vest for my secondary tank, Galio. After getting Wei, I made it the primary carry, which quickly became a 2-star. As the stats suggested previously, this comp carried me into the top 4 comfortably. From here on, it was all about flexibility and positioning. It came down to me versus YBY1. I moved to level 10 to activate the 3 Altruist synergy. With Wei and Aurelia doing great damage, I dominated against YBY1. Kabuka was the main difference, being the unkillable tank against this high board. Finally, I got the top position and won against YBY1. It is all about flexibility in the final stages, along with positioning, separating us from an average player. That brings us to the end of this video. Hope you have learned something new, and do try it out and let us know in the comments. For more gameplay analysis, subscribe to our channel, Item Swap.